chapter 20, verse 1. Oh, chapter 20, verse 1. Okay. So, when you go out to a battle against your enemies, and you see a horse. I'm sorry?
Shoftim.
Yeah, chapter 20, verse 1 is Parsha Shoftim.
Yes.
Okay, Yashikoyach, thank you. All right. Yeah, I know this because when you have a chumash, you need a chumash tani.
Yeah.
Okay. When you go out to battle against your enemies and you see a horse and a chariot and you see the other enemy that they're stronger than you and mightier than you, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of the enemies. Because Hashem your God is with you, who took you out from the land of Egypt. By the way, this is a passage that nowadays, before the IDF goes into battle, a lot of them read from this verses. They say, don't be afraid. When you see how many, everybody talks about Israel, the mighty power, but there's a billion, Israel's literally surrounded by a billion Arabs. And the ones who are the quote unquote friendliest would not shed even one tear if Israel would be wiped out by a nuclear bomb any second. So everybody around Israel, even their so-called allies, wants Israel destroyed. So you would think that we would be the ones who are afraid, but this is the verse we have to read. Rashi says, why is this related to the next passage, which deals with the previous passage, talked about false witnesses? To tell you, this is something very powerful. A person who's missing a limb is not allowed to go out to battle. That he does not go out to battle. I want to tell you a story. After October 7th, 2 weeks after October 7th, I went to visit the hospitals in Israel, and I saw soldiers who were wounded, and one of them was missing a leg, and he said he wants to get his prosthetic on because he wants to go back to the front line. That this is the dedication we see in the IDF today, the greatest heroes of all. Alternatively, to tell you, if you've carried out righteous judgment, you could be certain that if you go into battle, you will be victorious. And so too, David says, Asiti mishpat v'tzedek. I did righteousness and justice. Kol tanicheni Shkai. Do not leave me to my oppressor. So the most important thing we need when we go out to battle is righteousness. We need to know what we are fighting for. What do we say in Psalm 27? This is what we were saying morning and evening. What do we say? We say in the Psalm, David Hashem Ori v'iri mimi yira Hashem Oschai mimi avchad. I will not be afraid. In takuma milchama, that if the war will come against me, bezos ani boteach, I will trust in God. Achash alti meis Hashem, I will trust. I ask one thing of God. Achash alti meis Hashem, osani vakesh. I'm requesting one thing. Shifti beveis Hashem kol yimei chayai. It means to say that the psalm we say morning and evening is that we will not be afraid of a battle. We will not be afraid of a war. We will commit entirely to service of Hashem. Okay. So, now this is something that's very powerful. This is not politically correct. They should be like enemies in your eyes. Do not have mercy upon them, because they will not have mercy upon you. This is a big debate right now in Israel, whether or not we should have mercy, whether Israel should be providing the aid. A lot of the people who take this Rashi literally say we should not be providing the aid. I mean, what do you think about that, Dan?
I think that the Torah has some very troublesome, the last part, some very troublesome requirements, but the rabbis always find moderate.
But this one, this is not like a specific, this is not a specific commandment. It's just telling us, like in general, do not have mercy. But it's tricky because I think that this, I'm going to say this. I am no expert in this, but I do think that if Israel had gone in with more force at the beginning of the war, with more force, then the war would have been over quicker and less people would have died. That's just my.
I understand you said you do a big thing first, and that way it makes it.
I mean, that was the
I
argument.
understand. Like, only so many people have to die.
Oh, by the way, we have a very special hero with us today, Mendy. Mendy is serving on the front lines of Israel. He's very humble and very modest, but we're honored by your presence, Mendy. Now, I don't know that he wants to go on the record. You don't have to. But do you think how do you think the Chayalim are feeling about the aid that's being given to Gaza? Are they supporting that or against it? Right. So I'm saying like the world you're in, like your unit, are they they don't like it. They're very against it. Yeah, well there's two problems with it. One is Hamas takes it, it just strengthens them, and also the people you're giving the aid to are the likelihood is that they're the people who were cheering on October 7th and also are not helping recover the hostages. So the yeshiva students don't like it. And they're on the front lines. So that's a big thing. Like the morale of our soldiers is also very important. Okay, so we're chapter 20, verse 1. It does actually happen to be talking about going out to battle. It says, don't be afraid because Hashem will be with you. And don't be afraid that they have more horses and chariots. Tzutz v'rechev, Rashi says, Be'inai chashuvim kulam. In my eyes, all of them are considered kesus echad. God looks at all their horses like one horse. And so it states, I was about to call upon you to read, Elon. Yeah. Okay, fine. Ikita at Midian ke'ish echad, v'cheinu omer kivatzus paro. When Pharaoh's horse came, basically, God, in God's eyes, it's all like one horse, and it's all like one horse. God can take care of everything. It's not a concern. Am Rav Mimcha, you're going to see people that's more numerous than you. Beinechu Rav, abo beinai eino Rav. God says, Rashi says, in your eyes they seem to be numerous, but in my eyes they're not numerous. In my eyes they're just regular.
How do we get those eyes, Rabbi?
That's what God's eyes. We get God.
Yeah, I'm saying, but our Sheifa goal is to be like God, right? So we need a little bit more encouragement than Rashi.
Eyes by we get those eyes.
You have to be like high up there, and
yeah,
unfortunately,
we get
like
those
I think it
eyes
was
by.
who said that.
No, we get those eyes by reading these verses, and then we have the idea. But you're right. That's the hope. It's easy to have it. But I can tell you, Mendy's also on the front lines. But when I meet with when I've gone to the army bases, I've probably gone to, let's say, a dozen army bases since October 7th. And Mendy could tell me if my feeling is off. I see just the people there today with the Chayalim with tremendous emunah, tremendous faith. And not afraid. I don't see people who are afraid. I see tremendous emunah. I went up to this base last week in the middle of the Bika. I was surrounded by Arab villages. And when I got there, it was, let's say, 6 o'clock at night. And 6 o'clock at night. And it was the afternoon. And as I pull up to the base, outside the base, there are like a bunch of kids who I guess were waiting for rides to get to because it's in the middle of nowhere, so they wanted to get rides to the next Somet. They're all wearing tefillin. It was a Netzach Yehuda religious unit. They were wearing tefillin with payas. They were very proud. They were not like running on. They were living this Rashi. They completely had such faith in Hashem. I saw that. I mean, Mendy, is that your experience of the boys you're serving with?
Very religious guys.
Very, very filled with faith and proud of their service and just view it as a privilege. And and are not complaining about what they're doing, but rather living it with pride. Like they're fulfilling these Rashis.
See, as a mitzvah, the big mitzvah that it is.
And it is huge mitzvah, and that's how they see it. So, yeah. So now the pasuk says, I wonder if, by the way, before you guys go out on your missions, do you read these verses? Does anybody read this? Because I've seen videos of people reading these verses. These verses it says, whoever is afraid, turn back. This is the part. This is the passage. They never read that to you? I've seen it on videos.
Right. Yeah.
So he says, when you come out to battle, when you come out to battle, the Kohen will come close, and then and he will speak to the people. Rashi says, just after your departure from the boundary, the Kohen will come close. Okay, you want to read, Elon?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah. A Kohen? For sure. When this is the war that Israel is in now is called a Milchemet Mitzvah. It's an obligatory war. And an obligatory war, who goes out to the battle? Even what?
I've learned this before. So.
Even a chasan mechupaso and even a groom and a kala from their wedding. And I also saw this when I was in Israel. I literally was at a chuppah, and I was told that the chasan and kala, they're getting the night off, and the next day they're going back to the front lines. So everybody in Israel is supposed to fight. Everybody in Israel is supposed to fight. Includes all the yeshiva bachars, all the seculars. Everybody's supposed to fight. Everyone. And when I was in that trip, there was another base nearby which had which was called not Netzach Yehuda, but Chashmonaim, where they actually spoke Yiddish. They were all Haredim, and they actually spoke Yiddish, and no women are allowed on that base because it's sensitive to the soldiers. Okay, so V'Gasha Kohen, and the Kohen will come close, and this is a special Kohen who's called the Kohen HaMashuach HaMelchama, the Kohen who's anointed for war. V'dibero ha'am, and he shall speak to the people b'lashon HaKodesh. He speaks to them in Hebrew. And you're going to read the Rashis for this pasuk, which are chapter 20, verse 3, Elon. V'amar alayim, and he says to them, Shema Yisrael, listen Israel, atem krivim hayom l'melchama al ovechem. Today you're going into battle. Al yirachu v'avchem, don't let your hearts be soft. Al tiru, don't be afraid. Al tachpazu v'al tartzumim ne'em. Do not be frightened. Do not panic. Do not break down from before them. Go into battle. Don't be afraid. So let's, Elon, you want to read the Rashi?
Yeah. Shema Yisrael, Achilu ein bachem zechu ela kriyat Shema bilvad, Hidai atem sheyoshiyat.
Beautiful. Even if the only merit you have is that you recite the Shema every night, that should be sufficient to save you. So this is very important that every chayal should say Shema Yisrael. That's enough of a merit to save them. Enough of a merit to save them. Of course, there are many chayalim, holy chayalim, who recited Shema diligently, who are now kadoshim, but still. We do this Rashi. You're going to battle on your enemies. You want to read the Rashi, Mendy?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
These
are not your brothers. These are your enemies. They're not your brothers. If you fall into their hands, they will not have compassion upon you. Shivya. So this is not like when there was a civil war. There was a civil war a couple of times in Jewish history, and when Judah fought with Israel, and they took their captives and they clothed their naked from the spoils, and they clothed them and they fed them and they gave them to drink. and they land them on. That's not what's going on here. If you fall into battle, you're not going to get the Geneva Convention rules. They're not going to treat you with compassion and with dignity. You're going against your enemies. You have to be ready for battle. Ready for battle. So, sorry to say that, and this is the Torah. Torah says, don't expect them to treat you properly. Got a question, Mindy?
No.
Yeah. Okay, next Rashi. Do not let your heart not al yirach v'avchem. Don't be afraid. Al tiru. Don't be frightened. Al tachbazu v'al taratzu. Do not panic and do not break down. Go on. Read the Rashi.
Right.
Yeah, sure. So these are 4 warnings. These correspond to 4 things that the enemy nations do. What do? They bang their shields together. So they bang their shields together to get people to run away. Go on. They have their horses stamp the ground. And so they make their horses like stamped so that they start neighing and going in like all worked up. They shout. Okay, go on. And they blow their shofar. There's the second reference today we had to the shofar. We had the shofar in the Daf Yomi.
These are Jews? The Jews do
No, this is what the enemies do to get you afraid. They do 4 things. So therefore the Torah says 4 times, don't be afraid. Because they do 4 things against you. So that's why the Torah has to say 4 different reasons. Rashi's answering the question, why does it have to say al tiru, al tachbazu, al taratzu, al yirachav avchem? Why does it say 4 times, don't be afraid? It's because they do 4 different actions. That's what Rashi says.
Right.
Al tiru, don't be afraid. Al yirachav avchem, don't be afraid. Mitzalat susim, from the shouting of the horses. Al tiru, don't be afraid. Me'agafat trisim, from the banging of the shields. Al tachbazu, don't panic. Mikol akranos, from the sounds of the shofar. Val taratzu, don't break down. Mikol tzvacha, from the sounds of the shouts. Okay, pasuk daled. What did you say, Rabbi Yosef? What'd you say?
You don't
Rabbi
also
Yosef?
use shaparot. That's not solely the non who do that.
Of course, yeah, yes. And not only Gidon, also Joshua used the shofar outside of Jericho. But this is specifically when you go into battle against the enemies,
Right, but
this
I'm
is
saying
what they're going
specifically
to.
with Gidon, it was in the middle of the night and it scared them.
Also, yeah.
Yes, I'm saying he used it to scare them, which is exactly what Rashi is saying here.
Beautiful. Yes, Shakoach. Okay, Pasuk Daled. This is part of the Mishabech for Chayalei Tzahal. And Hashem, your God, we read this as part of our Mishabech. Hashem, your God, walks with you to fight for you with your enemies and to save you. Ilan, would you read the Rashi?
Yeah.
Pasuk Daled. Vigomer, mean etc. Benitzchono. You know what the word nitzachon means? It's a very important word in Hebrew today. You have here, there's the expression, ada nitzachon, on to victory, on to victory. We're striving for victory. So they come with their hope of victory of flesh and blood. But benitzchono, but you don't want to have victory for flesh and blood, you want to have victory for God. Yeah, the Philistines came hoping that Goliath would be victorious. What happened to Goliath in the end? And they fell down with him. Holech goes out with you. This is the ark. The ark would go out to battle with the Jewish people. Yeah, today in Mendy, when you go out into the front, the Torah comes with you. Doesn't come with you. Sometimes the Torah does come. Maybe not all the way to the front, but to the Mutzav, like the outpost that's near the front. There's the Sifrei Torah there for sure. Yeah, not into the battle itself. That would be that would be too dangerous for the Torah. But they definitely have the Torah scroll on all the bases. Every base has a Torah for sure. For sure.
Sorry, on time.
Very good, very, very good. In the battle with in Book of Samuel and 1 Samuel chapter 5. Is it chapter 4 or chapter 5? I think it's both chapters. They brought the ark into battle, and it was conquered. And that was the different ark. Rashi tells us there were 2 arks. There was one ark which was supposed to stay in the Mishkan, and there was another ark which was supposed to go into battle. The problem was they brought out the wrong ark. The Philistines captured it, but they didn't realize its power, and it started giving them all sorts of problems. And that was the inspiration for the movie and Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. They had the power of the Ark. Okay, hold on. Rabbi Yosef commented here. He said most of the Torah scrolls in the army camps are survivors of the Holocaust. I had no idea about that. Wow. They should need new ones.
Yeah, but in the 50s when Rabbi Goren was doing it, they found a museum that Imach Shimonik wanted to open in Prague, and they were all tagged for which community they were taken, and so most of them were brought to Israel and
interesting. Okay, because
given to all the different army camps.
A Torah scroll does not last forever. Most the people don't realize this. The life of a Torah scroll is around 80 to 100 years. And then the letters, like the ink doesn't phase or turns red. So a Torah scroll does not last forever. And so nobody's using today a Torah scroll that's like 300 years old. I mean, you won't see that. Where do they go? They get buried because they don't last forever.
Where they go to the Bible Museum.
They have a lot of Torahs there, but they're mostly not kosher.
Sure. It's a rule.
That's downtown. It's right here.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, it's Christian.
I think it's pretty ecumenical. I think it's pretty fair. I mean,
they're 2 separate things. One is ecumenical and fair for sure, but it's the nonprofit that owns it is Christian.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy who owns it is.
And the nonprofit, it's like a very Christian.
But they have people like Jonathan Sarna.
They'll bring in a lot of
who consulted, and like the way they treat the Hebrew Bibles, I think was very respectful.
Oh, for sure. And Rena Oprah is no, they're doing
super sessions.
Should those Torahs be buried, or is it okay to have their own display?
Well, nobody's asking me. But if do I think that a Torah should be on display there? I do not think so. I think it's not respectful, but on the other hand, I don't want to start fighting with them about it, so we'll let them go. But that's not where a Torah is supposed to be. A Torah is not supposed to be in a museum. Torah should be given out and used. There are congregations that need Torah scrolls, so we should give it to them. But if it's being used for educational purposes to teach, then maybe it's okay. Because the Torah itself says the Torah should be written in 70 languages so that everybody can learn from it and be inspired by it. So there is that aspect to it. So I know that great rabbis have spoken there at the museum and have attended the programs there. So I'll leave that question about handling the Torah scrolls to them. Rabbi Dr. Ari Berman was there. So I mean, Jonathan Sarna is not a rabbi, but
which museum is it at?
It's called the Museum of the Bible.
In DC.
Yeah, it's in Southeast.
It's right near all the other museums.
On the south side of the mall. It doesn't agree.
Yeah, no. But if you want to get, but we can help you get in if you need. If you need a.
No,
it's not.
It's just so it's like that a lot of them.
It's not.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's a private museum. Okay, it's a private museum. Okay, let's go on. So it says the Dibru Shotrim more. The officer shall speak to the people and say, Mi Ish Asher Bana Bayis Chadash. Who is the one who built a new house? V'lo Chanacho, and has not dedicated it. Yelech v'yashuv b'so. Let him go home. Penya muspil milchama. So they're going to give all the exemptions from battle. But the interesting thing is, I don't want to leave you with this. These exemptions are only if it's not a milchemet mitzvah, but if it's an obligatory war, there are no exemptions. There are no exemptions from an obligatory war. No exemptions. Okay, we'll stop here and daven mincha at this time.